We continue to see just some incredible photos and videos of the storm damage and the flooding from all around the state. Roger shared this video from Chesterville showing the flooding there. Enough at one point, as you can see at the end of the video, to get a car stuck in some of that water. Meantime, we want to take a look at what the Kennebec River looks like today. This is in Skowhegan. Water levels way up there, almost to the bridge downtown. Thanks to Lloyd for sharing that video with us. We are getting a lot of photos and videos from so many of you. Keep sending them our way. You can use the Near Me section of the News Center Maine app. We want to see what you're seeing as we are all continuing to clean up from that massive storm yesterday. Dana Osgood joins us. You mentioned at the top of this newscast that some rivers have not peaked yet, so we need to be mindful that the flooding will continue.
Exactly. Just because the rain and the wind is over doesn't mean we're out of the woods quite yet with all of the damage. It takes time for the rivers to crest, so that is going to continue to be an issue for the rest of the day. But the good news for cleanup is that the rest of the week is very quiet, even all the way into Christmas. The 7-day forecast is going to be pretty much the same each day as we go. But I do want to talk about the storm that we saw yesterday. Wind and rainfall totals here. Kingfield saw the most rain, about 6 inches. Salem and Harrison, 5 inches of rain. A lot of us saw at least a couple inches, and combined with all of that snow melt left us with a lot of water. With the wind gust, there was a wind gust of 80 miles per hour out in Eastport. Ellsworth got to 71. Even Bangor had a wind gust of 70 miles per hour, and that definitely contributed to a lot of the damage that we've seen. But at this point, things have really gotten quiet. A lot of the system is already offshore, and even though we had some clouds from an offshore system in down East Maine today, it didn't provide us with any more precipitation, which is very good. We do have only a couple of flood warnings left, and these are specifically having to do with the rivers, like we mentioned at the top of the show. With the rivers not quite yet cresting yet, that does cause a lot of issues with some flooding even after the rain is already done. You can see those here, and those flood watches, or flood warnings rather, are going to be in effect really until tomorrow. Here's a closer look at the Androscoggin and Kennebec rivers. We did mention that there is some evacuation orders in Lewiston, and you definitely want to heed those because the river is going to still rise another foot or so before it crests. And we can see that here. This is the Androscoggin River at Auburn. Going to be about another foot before it finally crests early in the day, late in the day tomorrow, or early in the day on Wednesday. These hydrologic forecasts have a tendency to change very often, so you want to keep looking at this and kind of keep updated with the rivers, and definitely heed those evacuation orders as well. Now, with the next 7 days, it's going to be very, very quiet. The hour by hour is going to look very similar. Most of us are going to have clear skies, with the exception of the mountains. Might see a little bit of that cloud cover hanging out, especially in the late afternoons. We are going to get into a much colder pattern as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, but overall, we've got high pressure and control for much of this week. So even just watching the hour by hour go by, it looks pretty great out there. There's going to be plenty of sunshine over the next couple of days, so that's going to be very, very good for cleanup and just for enjoying the outside as well. We are going to get into much more cold pattern as we go into the second half of the week, but we're going to have that sunshine from a high pressure system up to our north. And then once it kind of begins to shift more towards our east, that's when we'll finally be able to see some milder weather come in for the weekend. So for our marine forecast, seas are still a bit high, 4 to 10 feet, and we're still going to be gusting to about 30 knots. So we have a gale watch in effect until Friday at 4 a.m. But take a look at that 7-day forecast. A lot of sunshine icons out there, and the next precipitation that we're looking at is going to be Tuesday night, but at this point, almost 7 days out, that might not even happen until Wednesday. So over the next couple of days, it's going to be chilly Thursday and Friday, so you're going to want to bundle up for those days, Brian. But overall, after starting the week off with a lot of rain and a lot of wind, it's nice to be able to just kind of calm down and allow for some cleanup over the next couple of days and just be able to enjoy the weather before the holidays as well.
Feel more like December this week.
Absolutely.
All right, Dana, thank you.